Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to buy VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 US listed ETF for less than $10. So in my spreadsheet here I've added VOO and it's going to be under the same investment name, Vanguard S&P 500, and they're basically the exact same fund. VFE actually just holds VOO and is in Canadian dollars versus VOO is the US listed ETF and it's held in US dollars. So now why am I adding this to my portfolio? Well, I'm adding it because the distribution yield is higher, and we'll get into that a little bit. So we can see here with VFE, it's about 1.21%, and VOO, it's 1.51%. Now, why is that? That is because when you hold VFE, which is a Canadian listed ETF with US stocks, you're going to be paying a 15% withholding tax, and there's no way around it. If you have an ETF that's listed in Canadian dollars, you're going to be paying 15% withholding tax on US dividends, no matter what. So whether it's TFSA, RSP, non-registered account, somewhere in the line you're going to be paying 15% withholding tax. So in the case of BFE, the tax is paid by the fund manager like regardless of the account that you buy it in. Now for VOO, you will pay that 15% withholding tax. The fund manager won't pay it. You will pay it, and it's just automatically deducted from your by your brokerage, whether it's Wealthsimple, Questrade, if it's in an account other than an RSP. So the RSP is the only place where those taxes those taxes on dividends are exempted. So naturally, I kind of want to just take advantage of that tax exemption with VOO just inside my RSP. So I'm going to be buying VFE in my TFSA non-registered account all the time. But when it comes to my RSP contribution once a year, I'm going to be going with VOO to save a bit on the dividend withholding taxes. So now that you know why that you might want to buy VOO, let's get into like how to do it for less than $10 in Wealthsimple. So this is a diagram that I've drawn to like really depict the process. So what I'm planning on doing is the first step, I'm going to save about 5% more than my total RSP contribution room to account for currency fluctuations that may occur during this process. So I'm basically planning on lump summing my RSP contribution into VOO so that I only have to do this process once and I'm done, because it is a pretty lengthy process. So I'm going to deposit, Canadian dollars into my Tangerine Canadian dollar account. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take that money and I'm going to deposit it into a Questrade non-registered account. So I'm literally just using Questrade to perform Norbert's Gambit here because it's not supported in Wealthsimple, which many of you might know. So I'm going to deposit into Questrade, and then I'm going to perform Norbert's Gambit, where you buy DLR in Canadian dollars, and you journal your shares to DLR.U, which is in US dollars, and you can sell it and receive the US dollars. So step 4 is where you're going to incur that $10 cost. So just showing you on Questrade's site their fees. So it's 1 cent per share minimum. So even if you only sell one share, it's not just 1 cent. You have to pay $4.95. Minimum $4.95, maximum $9.95. So depending on how many shares of DLR and DLR.U DLR.U you're selling, it's going to be between $4.95 and $9.95. So you're going to incur that cost. So, but it's way cheaper than paying the currency conversion fees on Wealthsimple directly. So you sell and receive your US dollars inside your Questrade non-registered account. So that's step 4 complete. And then you're going to take those US dollars and withdraw them for your Questrade non-registered account and deposit them into your Tangerine US dollar account. And then just take those US dollars and deposit it into your Wealthsimple RRSP. This is why I'm saying save about 5% more to account for currency fluctuations that could happen between step 1 and 6, because when you go to deposit it, you want to have enough to just lump sum your RRSP contribution. And if you have Wealthsimple Premium Client, which is free when you have over $100,000 in Canadian dollars in assets, you can just buy VOO with no cost. So I wouldn't recommend this if you don't have the Wealthsimple Premium Client. You could just I would just recommend just buying VFV instead if you're just dedicated to only using Wealthsimple, which I am. But I do have the Wealthsimple Premium client, so I can go ahead and do this process. But if you're not a Wealthsimple Premium client, I would just say, and you're not dedicated to using Wealthsimple, you don't want all your assets in one. It doesn't matter to you. You could just use Questrade for your RSP and just buy VOO directly after step 4. So after step 7, you should have bought VOO, and there's no cost associated with doing that. It's commission free and Wealthsimple. And yeah, then you'll have VOO. And after that, I just want to show you like the returns on VFE and VOO. So if you go on Koifin and you can see like the total returns over time, you might look at this chart and be a little bit deceived and see, oh, hey, look at over the last 10 years, VFE is up 294.75%. And look at VOO, it's only up, 207.11%. Well, this is a bit deceiving because what this is this is the total return in the currency that the fund is held in. So in VFV's case, because it's unhedged, you're going to have the currency fluctuations with the US dollar applied to your stock as well. So VOO is directly in US dollars, so there's no currency fluctuation. When you're just looking at the stock itself. But when you go ahead and sell it back into Canadian dollars, after 10 years, you're going to have the appreciation or depreciation of the US dollar included in that when you go to sell and get it in Canadian dollars. So if I look at DLR, which is the stock you actually buy in the process of Norbert's Gambit here, right here, DLR. Yeah. So you can see actually how the US dollar has performed relative to the Canadian dollar over the last 10 years. And you can see it's up, 39%. And that is the difference. That is why VFV looks like it's appreciated way more than VOO because it has the appreciation of the US dollar included in it in its return. Whereas VOO doesn't implicitly have that. But once you go ahead and sell your US dollars one day and bring them back to Canadian dollars, you're gonna see that return anyways. So I hope that makes sense. After that, yeah. So if you want to reverse the process when you go to sell it one day, you can it's just following this diagram in reverse. So you sell your VOO, you receive US dollars, you withdraw them into your Tangerine US dollar account, and then you would deposit them inside a Questrade non-registered account, and you would do the opposite of let me just see here if I go to the product sheet. Oh, I already had that open. Okay, you would just do the opposite process. So USD to Canadian dollar conversion process. So you'd buy DLR.U in US dollars and convert it to DLR in Canadian dollars and sell and receive Canadian dollars. Okay, then you have Canadian dollars, then you withdraw them into your Tangerine or whatever bank you're using, Canadian dollar account, and you can go ahead and use it. So yeah, so you're only going to incur like a $10 fee again in step 4 when you do the reverse process. So that's my plan for my RSP. Obviously, I can't contribute until 2024. So for now, it's just going to be 0. So I'm just going to hide this row, but know that eventually I'm going to be buying VOO to save on those withholding taxes. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.